All right, we're calling the meeting to order. 1.1, 1.2, Pledge of Allegiance, and I'm going to go ahead and ask Ms. Rosenblum to lead us in the pledge, please. Thank you so much, Ms. Rosenblum. And I do want to acknowledge we have a couple of our board members. We do have quorum. We have Ms. Alexander online. And then the three of us, I know a couple are running a little bit late. And then one is had an emergency. Anyway, 1.3, approval of the agenda.
Moved. Second.
Approved by Ms. Tillman, second by Dr. Wyatt. Vote, please. Mr. Avila?
Aye.
Ms. Preciado?
Aye.
And Ms. Rosenblum?
Aye.
Aye.
Sorry, thank you. Motion passed. Moving on to 2.0, special presentations and recognitions, and I'll go ahead and pass it over to Ms. Goodwin.
Thank you very much, President Ceballos. Hello and good evening. My name is Mary Roan Goodwin, and I am the Director of Communications and Community Relations. Before I introduce tonight's special presentations, I'd like to invite our board members and superintendent to make their way to the front of the dais as we prepare for tonight's recognitions. Executive cabinet members, if you don't mind, I'd like to have you along the ramp here. I'd also like to invite my communications manager, Maria Garcia, to the podium to introduce tonight's special presentations.
Good evening, audience. We are very happy to have you join us for tonight's recognitions. We're going to start by calling forward Cajon High School Principal, Dr. Chris Jackson. Please join the board and superintendent at the front. Our first honoree received a prestigious award that is reserved for just one person in all of California. That's right, out of all the high schools across the Golden State, it was Cajon High School Athletic Director Richard Imbriani who shined the brightest this year. Last month, Rich Imbriani was named the California State Athletic Director of the Year. Mr. Imbriani, please come on down. I think that Rich Imbriani certainly deserves another round of applause. And now that both Chris and Rich are up here, we're going to do a couple of photo opportunities, and then we ask that they both please remain with the board. Congratulations to our very own Rich Imbriani. Please remain standing here, both of you, because our next recognition is for the Cajon High School cheerleaders. The Cajon High School cheerleaders recently took the #1 spot at the USA Spirit Nationals competition in February. This evening, we are honoring each member of the squad, starting with coaches Lindsay Parham and Macy Imbriani. Please come on down. And cheerleaders, as I call your name, please make your way to the front using the same path as your coaches. Each of you will receive a special certificate of recognition from our Board of Education and Superintendent Arellano. We're going to start with Daisy Dayweiler. Next up is Lorraine Escarcega. Celeste Fonseca. Nija Hendricks. Madison Kim. Next up is Victoria Leon. And now we have Carrington Lee Cernay. Elisa Lopez. Lillian Missick. Sofia Mota. Devin Norwood. Heidi Pelayo. Jaden Rivers. Adeline Wheeler. And last, but certainly not least, is there Maya Williams. And Mary Jane Pimentel is also with us. Let's give it up for the Cajon High School cheerleaders.
Can I ask one favor? I know you guys got your jeans on and your stuff, but you got to do something just to liven the place up. Just give us one little yell or something, right? After the picture, okay? You got to do something. Thank you.
All right, so once we take the picture, then we'll let your coaches direct your next cheer. Oh, something. Doesn't have to be a cheer. Let's hear it one more time for the Cowboy Cheer Squad as they make their exit. Thank you, members of the board, superintendent, and cabinet. At this time, you will return to your seats on the dais, please, for the remainder of our special presentations. Was that the chair? You got it.
Do they have a cheer for us? You got something? Come on. Down front, so we can be on TV. You can leave your certificates right there. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you.
That's right, audience. Wherever you look, whether it's in our region or across the entire state of California, SBC USD is shining bright. Let's give it up one more time to our amazing honorees. In just a moment, Assistant Superintendent Dr. Sandra Rodriguez will be introducing tonight's remaining special presentation, which focuses on this year's achievements, insights, and skills gained by members of our Student Leadership Advisory Council, better known as SLAC. Good evening, Dr. Rodriguez. The floor is all yours.
Thank you very much. We are extremely excited in Student Services to have a program that cultivates our students' voice and helps them to capture the power that they have. We have about 45,000 students who come to this school district, and so it's important that we are able to include them in the decisions that affect them. At this time, I would like to call up our student representatives from SLAC, which stands for Student Leadership Advisory Council. With us today, we have Damien Delgado, who is a 10th grade student from Pacific High School. We have Brisa Hernandez Garcia, who is an 11th grade student at Middle College. And then Alicia Rourke, a 9th grade student from Middle College as well. And so we're very excited about the year that they've had. And so please enjoy the presentation. And at the end, we have a nice little show for you that is not as loud as our cheerleaders, but one that is going to be very inspirational. So with all of that, I'd like to present Damien Delgado.
I just speak into there, or do I have to press the button? Okay. Thank you for the opportunity to present today. Good evening, President Ceballos, members of the board, superintendent, and cabinet. I, Damian Delgado, an active student member within the Student Leadership Advisory Council, am here to share today the impact of our Student Leadership Advisory Council. SLAC was established as a platform through which students could voice themselves, be heard, and collaborate to address issues on campuses. It is a space where student leadership is not only facilitated, but also encouraged. We realize that our students' voices matters and that we can make a difference when we come together. An illustration of this recent concern that was presented by the students regarding the lack of shaded sitting spaces within campus in break times and during lunch, students generally found it hard to secure cool areas where they could sit in the summertime, especially when it was over 100 degrees. We formulated a proposal together of students' voices and worked alongside school administration with the assistance of SLAC so that we could have umbrellas stationed on tables outdoors. This practical improvement, led by student input, has been appreciated by many students. As student board members, it's very good to gain that recognition. In addition to problem-solving actions, Slack has also had guest speakers. These successful individuals from various walks of life who talk about remaining committed to goals and long periods of time despite challenges, the importance of sacrificing, has inspired many students to take that stand up to their goals. Through Slack, students are able to motivate each other and bring fresh new ideas to the table in which we examine and determine whether or not to follow through with them. Students can respect each other's opinions through Slack as we listen attentively to each one of them. We remain engaged within conversation as well. Slack promotes student leadership and civic responsibility. It reminds us that we are not only students of our own schools, but contributors to our own society. And for that, I'm so grateful that Slack has prepared me for the various paths I have future in my life. Once again, I thank you for being able to represent my school, my people, and the voices that matter the most to me. Thank you for your time, and I hope to see you once again. I will be passing it on to my fellow council member.
Good evening. So, as Damien had said, I am also a member of the Student Leadership Advisory Council. So I wanted to speak a little bit about what Slack has done, just like Damien had
What's your
said.
name?
Oh, my name is Alicia Rourke.
Thank you.
So I wanted to speak a little bit about what Slack, or otherwise known as the Student Leadership Advisory Program, has done. So as Damien said, it's here to empower student-led voices. We're always told that we're here for the kids, right? We need to hear student voices, and that's exactly what Slack promotes. Slack allows people to learn the leadership skills that they need to actually allow for their input to be put and to be listened to. My personal experience with Slack as a freshman in high school, I think it has been wonderful. I've held leadership positions before, whether it be being vice president of mock trial or vice president of well-known speech and debate, extracurricular activities that I think are crucial to students' learning. But I pretty much thought I might have known it all. I was wrong. As soon as I joined Slack and I went to those meetings, I was taught by, as Damien said, by other inspirational and motivational speakers, and even other people that are presenting. I've learned wisdom that I wouldn't have otherwise known if I hadn't joined this program. For example, when it comes to Kevon Lee, I remember he stuck out to me so much. His speech basically centered around the theme of never quitting. Now I wouldn't consider myself a quitter, but it's because I learned that skill. But also the 10 types of leadership that we have learned. It includes stuff such as delegative leadership, or also servant leadership, and also authoritative leadership, and so on and so forth. I thought there was only one type of leadership, and that wasn't well defined for me until I learned all of those skills as well. So when it comes to my personal experience, I also believe I was taught to be able to collaborate with my peers. Within Slack, we promote collaboration on these topics that I'm talking about. And I believe, actually, I know that for students that are going to join Slack and will join Slack, they will have the same exact skills and learning experiences they could be provided. Now I will pass this on to my other fellow council member, Brisa Hernandez.
Firstly, thank you for this opportunity to speak. My name, as Alicia mentioned, is Brisa Hernandez Garcia. I am a junior at Middle College High School, and what I would like to say about my own personal experience as someone that has been a part of the Student Leadership Advisory Council is that it genuinely does, as Damien said, promote leadership and civil responsibility. For those that want to take it a step further, they then have the opportunity to become student board members, but ultimately, as someone who is just in Slack as of right now, what it does teach and promote, one thing that has ultimately stuck out to me specifically is when we had our guest speaker, Ms. Sylvia Juarez, speak to us about the 10 types of leadership. As someone who is very active on my school campus in multiple positions of leadership, I thought the only way to do things was authoritarian because that is what I was used to. But being introduced to those 10 types of leadership ultimately has taught me that there are different ways to interact and work with different groups of people, and that ultimately shows a true leader, being able to be not just one type, but multiple types. And for those that want to take that leadership skill a bit further, they have the opportunity to be a student board member, as some of the people here today are. And with the help of Mr. Enriquez, a teacher at Middle College High School, they created a video in order to showcase that story that shows that Slack not only is the foundation of these leadership traits that become skills, but shows their story as student board members, which hopefully will play soon. Thank you.
think a student board member is for a person who is valedictorian or who has all A's, no B's, or maybe one B, but it's not just for those who want to have a better life than anyone. It's those who actually want to help their community, those who have a background story. For example, my freshman year, I had gotten into a physical fight with somebody, but I was able to see that I can do something with my life.
What surprised me most about the role is how family-oriented the cabinet is. Originally going into this experience, I was scared of having to speak with these adults with such high titles, but it's actually very unified and very respectful, and they also listen to your concern.
The most rewarding part about being a student board member is seeing issues that you have advocated for on the board agenda. A good example for this is seeing more funding being implemented for wellness centers. This is an important topic for me because I think it's important for us teenagers and students having access to mental health resources on a campus, just making it easier for us because mental health, you may not know how to ask for help, and having these resources on campus is just easier, and it just warms my heart seeing this being implemented. Prior to being a student board member, I was often scared or nervous to speak up and voice my opinions or ideas. But through my experience of becoming a student board member and being a student board member, I have learned the importance of speaking up. And when I found that when I spoke up and I gave my ideas, others could resonate with my beliefs or my ideas. And then with that, they're able to lead them into pursuing different activities or different movements or ideas that they also want to pursue. Another moment has been when I personally did a report for the student board members, and I talked about how middle college needed pathways. All the other public high schools have many different pathways that involve with medical, sports medicine, and Adobe. So I decided, hey, middle college should really have pathways as well. So I wrote up a report, I brought it up to the Board of Education, and now a few months later, now middle college has a pathway known as Adobe. Through my experience of being a board member, I have gained the leadership skills of communication and time management. Communication in the form of interacting with different members of my community. And it's not just about listening to them, but genuinely hearing their concerns or their perspective. And then time management. I am a full-time IB International Baccalaureate student, and going back from being a student and a board member, you have to learn the importance of time management and knowing how to break down your time so that you accomplish everything you have. Student board members draw the bridge between the student voice and the Board of Education. So what that really means is just bringing in the student perspective, the student experience at the actual schools, because the board members are making all these decisions, but they don't know how they're actually being implemented or what's the actual student experience. The way to do that is getting involved on campus, getting yourself involved in ASB, in clubs or sports, and just talking to your peers and getting to know what issues they're facing or what are they happy with, because that will help you know what to bring in at the board meetings. So a typical board meeting starts off by reviewing the agenda. The agenda has different topics from student safety to pathways to different budgets and even policies. From there, the different board members do their public comment. Me, I also give the report. The report might have student input or my initiatives that I want at my school. From there, we also receive public comments from other people. And once the meeting closes, I give my report back to my school so that they also know what had happened from the previous board meeting.
What a typical board meeting seems like. For starters, I want to say how we only have one board meeting per month. Because there are 2 meetings per month and there's 8 student board members, you only receive 1 meeting per month. The board meeting usually starts at 5:30, but student board members are required to arrive around 5:15. This is where the current student board members like to hang out and eat snacks. Then the meeting starts at 5:30 and Depending on how many items are on the agenda, you spend 1 to 2 hours at the dais, and then the cabinet goes into closed session.
How we as student board members represent other students' voices is by being able to communicate to ones that don't really have their voice out there or even known. They're really just not ones to communicate as much because they're way too quiet. As student board members, we try to get their voices. We will try to get it and represent it.
As a student board member, it's very crucial for students to be able for their voices to be heard. A couple ways that I ensure that my students at my school are heard are from engaging with PAC, which is the Principals Advisory Council, SLAC, which is also outside of my school, but it's from various different high schools and middle schoolers. I also engage with daily meetings with different principals, whether that be at San Andreas or San Gorgonio, and I also just have casual conversation with different students so that their voices are all heard. So the day that I take it up to their board, their voices will be represented.
I believe that the wellness centers have changed everybody's life. As student board members, we're able to have a vote on these wellness centers being built, so everybody can have a safe space, a safe spot to go either do some work to go calm down or just to go have a nice cool room where you can just be by yourself if that matters to you. The moment that I was proud of as a student board member has been when I was part of the restorative group, and in that group we were talking about how important mental health is. So because of that, we came together as student board members and we started researching more about mental health, and we found out that it's very important, so we wanted to implement that more into schools, and so that's how we were able to implement our wellness rooms.
One of the most exciting trips as a student board member is the AEC conference. My first year as a student board member, we got to go to San Francisco, so we flew up there. Our first day there, we were able to explore the city, go on the trolleys. We had some free, every meal was free. And then the second day was actual business day where we went to the conference and we met with students from all over California who are also student board members. And there they teach you how to be a student board member, so don't be afraid when you're applying for the position, you will be prepared.
My favorite memory as a student board member was our team building day, where we began our day by going to Cafe Capri and we learned fine dining etiquette. And then after that, we went to an escape room where we competed against the board members. So it was the board members and then it was the student board members at different escape rooms. We did end up losing, but it's okay because we learned the importance of working as a team.
As a student board member, it really helped me influence for my future career in many different areas. A few areas specifically I would say would be my public speaking skills and having a bond with my community. I want to pursue a career in law enforcement, and these skills are really going to help me for my future.
Being a student board member really shaped me to be able to change in ways I never thought I could. And in those ways, it showed me that sometimes you have to be the person who rises out of the darkness.
Being a student board member has allowed me to apply or just have access to different opportunities. For example, I won the 37th multilingualism scholarship for the county, and being a student board member has showed me the importance of being bilingual and biliterate, and I have been able to show that skill with my community, and I wrote about it in an essay, and it allowed me to achieve this accomplishment.
So what I would say to the future generation student board members is to be you, be bold, and be authentic. You never know the impact you can have on your school and even in the district. So most importantly, be you and just take a leap.
Some advice I can give to future student board members or students who are applying to be a student member is to have confidence in yourself and your capabilities. It's very natural for us to doubt ourselves, but just know that you are capable of accomplishing anything you want. And if you are truly interested in this role, know that you can go and reach out to different members in your community, such as your teachers or your counselors, where they can therefore connect you to different people who can help you apply to be a student board member.
The thing I would say to the next generation of student board members is whenever you feel like anything is going the wrong way, like it's spiraling down, try to be the hope that rises and brings it all the way up so it could be better. You'll never know until you swing the bat.
What I have to say to the next generation of student board members is just to go for it. I had went for it and it turned out super well for me. I was able to apply to applications for scholarships. I can just put it out there as, hey, I was a student board member. I was able to make difference in our community. I was able to make difference in our school district. You never know what life could have in the future for you. So I just want to say, just go for it and just do it.
Be you and be free-spirited.
If you're unsure about applying, the piece of advice I could give you is to take a leap of faith in yourself and just do it. Give yourself the opportunity to grow and learn more about your community. This role will open many doors for you and will allow you to succeed as long as you give it your all.
Wow, wasn't that amazing? You know, I think one thing that really stuck out, one of the student board members said, it's not about just listening to what people are telling you, specifically students, but it's genuinely hearing what they have to say. Within the 10 types of leadership, I think that's one of the most important traits that these students, whether it be student board members like Jimena, Wilbert, and Jeanette that are here today, thank you for being here, or any other student board members that may not be here right now, or other members of the Student Leadership Advisory Council, they have learned that through our mentors, through the lessons that we have learned through the Student Leadership Advisory Program. It's so integral. And these are our students of San Bernardino. Our students, aren't we lucky to have them? They have been mentored and they have been produced. And look at where we are now with this specific program and the ability to be a student board member, to sit up here and to speak the truth that we have as students. Thank you so much for listening to our presentation on the Student Leadership Advisory Council. Thank you for your time, as always.
Wow. Yes, please, let's give him another round of applause. Thank you so much for coming out, and absolutely amazing. Just want to take some time to thank, Dr. Rodriguez and, the whole team that, puts in the time day in, day out to support, and, Slack and all the staff members as well. And thank you as students for really just stepping up and saying, I want to be part of, the community. I want to be part of shaping it for the better. So, again, I commend you and thank you so much for coming out and giving us this great presentation. And hopefully I look forward to seeing, one of you or maybe all three of you up here, in the next set of board members, students. So
if I may, Ms. Ceballos,
Sure.
I'd like to recognize the staff that are so important to make this possible. Many of you know that this program was resurrected by a former board member, Mickey Chahusky, and this was her passion. And she came from a department within Student Services, Positive Youth Development. And oftentimes we think about positive youth development as the place that, where students get disciplined. But this is really a place where kids thrive. And so we balance it out. And so Slack is that program within PYD that is really able to bring that light and shine that light on the great things that are happening in our district. So I'd like to acknowledge our advisors. So we have Sylvia Aguirre, who's here with us today. And then Dr. Baikendova. So the two of them, we meet to discuss the plan and what we're going to be doing for the year. And then we have advisors for our student board members. And so we have Nicole Post, who is, again, very integral, provides the chaperoning and mentorships and help us with all of the board agendas. And then also Karen helps us when Nicole was out. So, she's been a very vital part. And then we have program specialist Michelle Rogers, who has also really helped to take the lead. And then prior to that, we had Mr. Ken Martinez, who was also part of our team. So this is an excellent program, and it produces wonderful, wonderful students. They are a microcosm of our district. And then I just want to share a fun fact. So Alicia Rourke, this young lady who is so articulate, who's only a 9th grader, she went to preschool. She went to already, started at 3 years old. And her mom loves it so much. She works at Preschool Central too. So it just really kind of comes full circle, right? And so, we work together to benefit our students. And you can see today just the richness and the beauty and the grace and the confidence that these kids have. This is San Bernardino, and they're the faces of San Bernardino City Unified School District. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much again. And if I may, I know Ms. Chahusky, as you've mentioned, was really passionate about this, was, her baby. I know that as board members, we had talked about it and we had made suggestions. I think in the past, there was only a couple, I want to say maybe 2 board members. And I know that the board had agreed, no, we want at least 1 per board member. And then we landed on, well, let's get some alternates. So we expanded it because we wanted to really expand opportunities for all. But it was really Ms. Chahusky that came and took that and put it out there and made it happen. So again, a big thank you. And I know that last year, as it was mentioned on the video, she did an activity with the board members to kind of, break the ice with the board members and things like that. Unfortunately, I was not able to. So if we can kind of keep that going and send an invite, I don't know if all board members could attend all at once or maybe we alternate, but I would definitely like to see that incorporated this next year and me personally be invited. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, team. Appreciate you.
All right, we are moving on to varsity cheerleaders. Okay, 2.4, resolution in recognition of National School Nurse Day, and I will go ahead and ask Mr. Avila if he can read that for us. So again, that's 2.4.
Whereas May 7, 2025 is National School Nurse Day, and whereas National School Nurse Day was established in 1972 with a goal of educating the public on a critical role of school nurses in the educational system, and whereas school nurses have served the role in ensuring student academic success for more than 120 years, and whereas school nurses support the health and educational success of students and youth by promoting wellness and improving health outcomes for all students. And whereas school nurses act as a liaison between school communities and families, and whereas school nurses understand the link between health and learning and are in a position to make a positive difference for children every day, and whereas school nurses in California are fully qualified registered nurses who have completed additional training and in an approved school nurse program, ensuring students receive the best possible care. Therefore, be it resolved, the Board of Education of San Bernardino City Unified School District proclaims May 7th, 2025 as National School Nurse Day and acknowledge the accomplishments of the district school nurses and continued efforts to meet the needs of today's students to help them stay healthy and in school ready to learn.
Moved.
Second.
By Ms. Medina, second by Dr. Wyatt. Vote please. Mr. Avila?
Aye.
Ms. Preciado?
Aye.
Ms. Rosenblum?
Aye.
And Ms. Alexander?
Aye.
I didn't forget about you this time. Motion passed. 2.5 resolution in recognition of California Student Mental Health Week. And I'm going to go ahead and ask Ms. Preciado if she can read that for us, please.
Whereas Awareness Month and May 5th through May 9th, 2025 is California Student Mental Health Week. And whereas the early identification, intervention, and treatment of mental health and behavioral issues are important for healthy student body and school community. And whereas researchers have found the rate of mental health disorders in children and youth has steadily increased over the past 2 decades. And whereas students' mental health often goes unnoticed, and research has shown that adverse childhood experiences have lasting harmful impacts if not addressed. And whereas schools, through their unique role in serving children and youth, have an opportunity to address student health early and effectively. Therefore, it be resolved, the Board of Education of San Bernardino City Unified School District hereby proclaims the week of May 5th through 9th, 2025 as California Student Mental Health Week and acknowledges the importance of student mental health and recognizes year-round attention is paramount to the health and student and success of students.
Motion, please. So moved.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Medina, second by Mr. Tillman. Vote, please. Mr. Avila?
Aye.
Ms. Preciado?
Aye.
Ms. Rosenblum?
Aye.
Ms. Alexander?
Aye.
Motion passed. 2.6 resolution in recognition of Classified School Employee Week. And I will go ahead and ask Ms. Rosenblum to read that first, please.
Whereas in 1986, California Senate Bill 1552 established the third week of each May as Classified School Employee Week to recognize the vital contributions of classified employees. And whereas the classified employees of San Bernardino City Unified School District provide support services that are essential to learn excellent teaching, sound administration, and high student achievement. And whereas classified employees support and enhance the educational process by performing vital service, including clerical, office and IT support, interpretation services, food services, building and ground maintenance, and many other functions. And whereas classified employees are committed to making sure that the district shines by responding effectively to the needs of students and their families, teachers, administrators, other staff, and the greater community. Therefore, be resolved, the Board of Education of San Bernardino City Unified School District does hereby honor the contributions of classified school employees and proclaims May 18th through May 24th, 2025 as a Classified School Employee Week and extends its sincere appreciation to all classified staff.
I'll move.
Second.
Moved by Dr. Wyatt, second by Mr. Tillman. Vote, please. Mr. Avila?
Aye.
Ms. Preciado?
Aye.
Ms. Rosenblum?
Aye.
Ms. Alexander?
Aye.
Thank you.
Ms. Bios, is it not coming through? Could you just do it by roll then?
Ms. Medina? Mr. Tillman?
Aye.
Dr. Wyatt?
Aye.
And aye. Motion passed. 2.7 recognition of National Teacher Appreciation Week, California Day of the Teacher, and SBCUSD's Day of the Teacher. Ms. Medina?
Thank you, Madam President. Whereas National Teacher Appreciation Week is observed annually during the first full week in May and sponsored by the National PTA, and whereas the second Wednesday in May is recognized as California Day of the Teacher, which arose out of legislation co-sponsored by the California Teachers Association and Association of Mexican American Educators and adopted in 1982. And whereas teachers mold future citizens through guidance and education, spending countless hours preparing lessons, evaluating progress in counseling and coaching students, and whereas teachers have been responsible for educating millions of students since the state's founding and have led efforts to promote and advance educational opportunities for all, and whereas a strong, effective system of free public education for all children and youth is essential to a democratic republic system of government, and whereas May 9th, 2025 is the day San Bernardino Unified School District honors its teachers who are second to none in their chosen profession. Therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Education of San Bernardino Unified School District proclaims the week of May 5th through May 9th, 2025 as National Teacher Appreciation Week, and May 14th, 2025 as California Day of the Teacher, and urges all citizens to pay tribute to public school teachers. And be it further resolved, the Board of Education proclaims May 9th, 2025 as a day to celebrate the district's exceptional teachers and express its gratitude for their service, dedication, and professional excellence, and asks the San Bernardino City Unified School District family and community to come together to make a difference in the lives of our students.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Tillman, second by Dr. Wyatt. Vote please, Mr. Avila.
Aye.
Ms. Preciado.
Aye.
Ms. Rosenblum.
Aye.
Mrs. Alexander.
Aye.
Motion passed. 3.0 public comments. 3.1 receive public comments. This is the only time the public will have an opportunity to address the board on items not on the agenda and within their subject matter jurisdiction, such as district policies, procedures, programs, services, or fiscal matters. Public comments are limited to 5 minutes per person. 6 or more people who wish to speak on one topic will be provided no more than 30 minutes total. Speakers are cautioned that under California law, no person is immune from liability for making intentionally false or defamatory comments regarding any person simply because these comments are made at a public meeting. So first up, we have Mr. Tony Plana.
Thank you. Thank you, Bruce. Nice to be back in my second home, San Bernardino. So hello from New York City. I always get this order wrong, but I want to acknowledge the board, the superintendent, and the cabinet. Was that right? Yes, thank you. So after listening to those student representatives and leaders, I feel completely inarticulate. And I've been a public speaker for a long time. I just have one question. How can I become a student board member? I want to go to San Francisco. But I'm really here because I get this question all the time, and I want to kind of leave it for the record. What are you doing in San Bernardino when they see me? And here's a little statement that I want to prepare for the board, and then I want to show you a little clip of some of the work we've been doing in your district, thanks to you. I have long advocated that the transformative power of the performing arts must exist at the core of the educational experience. Personally, it changed my life in high school. As an immigrant English learner, it empowered me in ways I could not have imagined. There is no educational tool more instrumental for discovering oneself, defining who we are, and developing all that we are to our highest potential. It's the reason I come to San Bernardino, and still the reason I am here today. You see, I was just like a lot of the kids in this district, and I never had the opportunities that you have been able to provide through our programs. So I'm here to publicly invite you. So I don't know if there's shame involved, but you have to come to our production of Frozen, which will be at Indian Springs the weekend of June 13, 14, and 15. You need to see in person, experience it firsthand what your kids are doing. They're doing extraordinary work. And that's what elevates my soul when I see this. We took a program that did not exist, and I think some of you, Dr. Rodriguez, Marisa Arellano, your superintendent, have come to see it. And I believe that all of you need to come. Student leaders, you need to spread the word. And more importantly, I want to leave you with this, and I mentioned this fact last year when I spoke to you. That is, we invite 4th to 8th graders to participate in this program Saturday mornings at Indian Springs, 9 to 12:30, and they work on a production the entire year. There are 14,000 4th to 8th graders in your district. Okay, we have like a little over 100 kids auditioning for our program in August. That is ridiculous. And listen, I know what the cost of these programs are because I put my daughter through them. I signed the checks, and these are offered free and with geographical proximity to where these kids live. It's a huge opportunity to not just become Broadway stars. God bless them. I hope they do. But really to develop themselves as communicators, as collaborators, as creative human beings. And that's what's important about these programs. You have to be able to develop the soft skills to succeed in this country, and especially in business. So I'm telling you that these, to me, are essential programs. And I hope that you will support them by coming and experiencing them. Then you'll become an advocate like me, I guarantee you. So June 13th, 14th, and 15th, Frozen, American Musical Academy. The other thing that I want to tell you is that by the way, nobody that auditions ever gets rejected. They go into a program we call American Musical Academy Training. It's because when we did our first audition and kids were rejected, we got call from parents. My kids are crying. We couldn't take it. We said, why should we reject any of them? Let's spend time developing their talents, and they'll be ready to audition for the main production and eventually become a part of it. So that's why I'm saying this summer we offer AMA, American Musical Academy. It doesn't mean American Medical Association. So just make sure you get that right. It's AMA, to love. Okay, it's much better than American Medical Association. So we offer summer programs training these kids to audition in August when they come back. So it's essential. If you have any kind of inclination, or if a kid that you know is shy, encourage them to come. We see kids blossom like nobody's business every day, all the time, all year. And it's just a wonderful opportunity for these kids. So I want to see you there. And I'll be there, and I will be taking names and holding you accountable, I hope. So thank you. I want to show this. This is a clip from last year's shows. We did Finding Nemo, American Musical Academy. We did also Moana at the middle school level. And we also did Seussical with our virtual academy. We did it all virtually with green screen, shot at the black box. And I want to thank Indian Springs High School and the principal there, Rosario, who really has been very helpful in making this possible. So please, David, can you?
In the big blue world, wonderful sights to see. In the big blue world, this is the place for me. What's waiting out there, we can never know. We're ready to, so ready to go. Oh, the things you can think, anything or who thinks can come up with a few. Oh, the things you can think a trip on a ship to the
Well, there it goes.
Thank you.
There's a QR code. Just go on that QR code and scan it and come train with us in the summer and audition for us in the fall. So thank you again for the time. Appreciate it.
Thank you so
Bless
much.
you.
And we have a question from Mr. Tillman.
Yes.
You named June 13th, the 14th, and the 15th, but you didn't say where.
Indian Springs High School. I'm
at
sorry.
what,
Yes.
At what time?
Oh, yeah, that's a bad question for me. I think it's a 6:30 Friday, Saturday, and then a 2:30 around there. We'll get you that information. It'll be on the QR code.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, but it's that weekend primarily because we're doing it after school, so we have more time in the theater.
Now, the video, is this an advertisement or is this posted somewhere on a website?
No, it's just a reel we put together for you to look at
That was
to
very,
encourage you to come.
That was very impressive. So you might want to start doing the video too, because
Yeah, maybe
that
we
was
will.
nice.
I'm looking for different platforms in order to screen it, so more kids can come with more, and more parents can encourage your kids. By the way, we our Broadway Now program is selling out at the Indian Springs High School every weekend with the programs we perform there. And amazing, the Suzical is actually with immune compromised kids, a virtual academy, and so they rehearse online in their houses where they are quarantined basically, and then we get them together at the Black Box in Indian Springs, and they do it with mask on. They distance, safe distance, and they shoot it on green screen, and then we drop the backgrounds from the books, the Suzical books, into it. It's amazing what we've been able to do.
Well, thank you very much. And then I want to just thank you because you believe in our students. It's like we believe in them. We have a great team here that's going to support you 100%.
Thank you.
You know the superintendent is behind you 100%.
Thank you.
So whatever we can do to make it bigger and better, that's what we want to do.
Yeah,
And
you know
you'll
what?
see me there either the 13th or the 14th or the 15th.
Yeah,
so
please
I'll be there.
come and help us spread the word. I want more kids to take this opportunity, take advantage of it. Anyway, thank you very much. It was 5 minutes, right?
Thank you.
I just want to also say another commercial. This is one of the quality programs that we offer in our EXL program. And so this program runs pretty much every day at different schools as well as Saturdays. And so again, because of the work that we have, it expands students' opportunities. We want to have the same opportunities for kids in San Bernardino as they might have in Beverly Hills or, San Francisco. Means should not be the reason why kids can't participate.
You are the only district that has this comprehensive a program in your elementary schools and middle schools in terms of performing arts pathways. Because that's what I believe in. They got to be ready for high school. Your high school productions are going to be incredible in a couple of years when these kids graduate. So thanks again for your support.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I would agree with Mr. Tillman if we can, make sure that gets somewhere on our website and we, promote it some more so that more students can take advantage. If we can do that. Thank you. Next up, we have Ms. Olga Cervantes Sotelo. And we need an interpreter.
Hola, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Olga Cervantes. Soy mamá de un niño del distrito escolar. Mi hijo está en la escuela Orbita Elementary. Hace unos meses,
Hi, my name is Olga Cervantes. I'm the mother of one student at Orbita Elementary. A few months ago,
en marzo para ser específico, mi hijo tuvo un problema en la cafetería, un desacuerdo con un niño. Lo llevaron con la vice principal y la vice principal, lejos de solucionar el problema, le gritoneó a mi hijo, le hizo llorar y a cada momento le apuntaba con el dedo y le decía que se callara, que no quería que llorara, que le dijera con la boca qué era lo que había pasado. ¿Por qué lloras? Y mi hijo solamente asintía con la cara y le decía que no podía hablar. Y ella no le importó y le siguió insistiendo y ejercía su fuerza contra mi hijo. Me dirigía con Miss Applegate a su oficina y quise hablar con ella y no me dieron respuesta. Su secretaria.
In March, to be exact, my son had an altercation, an issue with another student. They were taken to the vice principal's office, and apparently my son was yelled at. He was being pointed with a finger to a point where he couldn't actually speak. So I went to talk to Mrs. Applegate I wanted to talk to her about this issue, but I got no response.
Me dirigí con su secretaria y su secretaria me dijo que le iba a hacer saber lo del problema. A los 2 días me llamaron de la escuela para poder hablar conmigo acerca del problema que había habido. No encontré ninguna solución, solamente el director me dijo que iba a hablar con la maestra y que iba a buscar algo, pero yo le pedí de favor que yo quería hablar con la maestra para saber qué era el punto que le había dicho hacer explotar de esa manera a mi hijo. ¿Por qué lo había tratado de esa forma? Hasta ahorita no he encontrado ninguna respuesta. Volví a ir a la oficina de Miss Applegate sin ninguna respuesta, diciéndome su secretaria que le iba a hacer pasar los mensajes. Y ni Miss Applegate ni la secretaria me han dado ninguna respuesta para yo poder hablar con la vice principal.
Okay, when I spoke to the secretary, she took the message and she told me that they would reach back to me, but none of them did. Then I got a call a few days later. I got a call from the principal. I wanted to talk to me, but I mentioned to him that I actually wanted to speak to the teacher to know what exactly happened and why. But I could never do that. Then after that, I wanted to speak to Mrs. Applegate's office. I left a message with the secretary again, but I didn't get an answer from any of them, from the secretary.
Ayer todavía tuve una comunicación con su secretaria, lo cual le dije que no, que yo quería hablar con Miss Applegate o con la maestra, la vice principal, para hacer saber qué es lo que había pasado. ¿Por qué esa hazaña contra mi hijo cuando ustedes hablan que cero bullying, cero maltrato? Y no nada más ha maltratado a mi hijo esta maestra, ha maltratado a más niños y nadie nos hace caso. En la mañana, ayer me llamó la secretaria del director diciéndome que si quería una reunión con él, cuando con él no tuve respuesta. ¿Para qué quiero una reunión con alguien que no me va a hacer caso? Yo quiero que ustedes me den una solución en qué se puede hacer en estos casos cuando ustedes hablan de que protección al estudiante, cuando con mi hijo no la tuvieron. Hablan que como maestro nos están ayudando con nuestros estudiantes, cuando con mi hijo no la han tenido. ¿Qué es lo que yo tengo que hacer? Poner una orden de restricción hacia esa maestra, dirigirme y abrir un caso con algún abogado. Ustedes denme la solución, porque yo no estoy dispuesta ni un día más a estar con estos momentos de que haya maestros y ejerzan la fuerza sobre los niños.
Okay. So yesterday again, I talked to the Mrs. Applegate secretary, I wanted actually to speak again with Mrs. Applegate. I understand the district always preaches the zero bullying at schools. I got a call again from the principal telling me that he wanted to speak to me, but I said, why now? You didn't want to speak to me before. So what do I need to do? Do I need to open a case with a lawyer? What do I need to do to have this handled when the district always is saying that they don't allow these types of behaviors?
Todos los lunes, mi hijo, la pregunta siempre del día es, en la mañana cuando se va a ir a la escuela, hijo, que te vaya muy bien, te va a salir un día grandioso, te va a ir muy bien, y me dice, mamá, y si me encuentro a la maestra y me dice cosas, ¿qué le digo? ¿Qué le digo yo? Que se dirija con el director cuando el director no le hizo caso, que se dirija con su maestra cuando su maestra tampoco entendía ni sabía ni lo que había pasado, la maestra ni por enterada hasta el día de hoy de lo que sucedió. Ayer salió mi hijo de la escuela y le pregunté que cómo le había ido y me dijo, mamá, llegó Victoria Mandujano, y otra niña no recuerdo, Victoria H y otra niña que no recuerdo el nombre, llegaron llorando porque la vice principal también les gritoneó y nadie hace nada.
Okay. So every Monday, I always tell my son that his day is going to be good, that everything will be fine, and I always ask him how did the day go at school. What he said to me is, "What do I do if I see the vice principal? What do I tell? What do I tell her?" So yesterday, like he told me he saw Victoria H and another student. They came back crying because this vice principal yelled at them. Or
Sí, les detenió por lo mismo, por un problema, un incidente.
Okay, the vice principal yelled at them because of an incident.
Miss Applegate, ¿mis mensajes les han llegado?
Miss Applegate, has you received my messages?
Sí, sí me llegaron y hablé con el director para ver qué fue lo que pasó y cómo iba a hablar con la subdirectora. Pero él me dijo que usted quería que regañara a la subdirectora enfrente de él.
No.
Point of order.
Yeah, we're
You
gonna.
can't have back and forth conversation. Public comment is just giving a comment to us.
Okay.
Comunico con usted. I will communicate with her directly then.
Can you translate that for her?
They apologize because they cannot have this conversation back and forth. So
Can
they're
you
gonna-
translate to her? Oh, okay, perfect.
Okay. Yo le preguntaba a Miss Applegate que si su secretaria le había dado mi mensaje. Yo no quería regañar a la maestra. Yo quería que me dijera la maestra y me diera armas para yo regañar a mi hijo acerca de la situación cuando ella me lo hizo llorar. Yo ya no tenía armas para llamarle la atención de algo que había hecho mi hijo mal, porque ella ya lo había hecho llorar. Como maestra me supongo que tiene un nivel más alto que yo. Por eso está en el lugar que está.
So I was basically asking Miss Applegate if she got my messages because I wanted to speak to the teacher to know what was the justification for, not the teacher, but the vice principal. What was the justification for her to yell at my son? So I can actually speak to her. But since she already make him feel that way, I couldn't do that again to him.
Yo quería que ustedes me dieran una respuesta en qué es lo que se puede hacer.
So I wanted from you an answer on what could have been done.
Vuelvo a repetir, no estoy dispuesta a esperar un día más sin que no me den una solución el día de hoy.
And I repeat, I can't wait one day more without having a solution.
Quiero una reunión con la vice principal y con el director. Y si alguno de ustedes puede estar presente, se los voy a agradecer.
I would like a meeting with the vice principal and the principal. And if any of you can make this happen, I will appreciate it.
Is that all her public comments?
Sí.
Okay.
Yes.
So I just want to take an opportunity. I just want to take an opportunity. Quiero tomar la oportunidad to say I'm sorry for your experience. Lo siento mucho por su experiencia que tuvo. And we've already received your public comment. Ya hemos recibido su comentario público. And I do hope that you will be reached out to. Tengo gran ánimo de que la van a contactar y este problema se va a resolver. In any case, I personally have gathered your information. Yo tengo su información. I will be sending you an email to make sure that you were followed up on.
Mi hijo no es el único maltratado.
I understand. Yo tengo su correo electrónico y yo le voy a mandar un correo electrónico para asegurarme que sí la contactaron y que está moviendo la situación adelante. ¿Ok?
Okay.
Gracias.
Just wanted to repeat what mom said. My son is not the only one affected.
Traje a mi hijo. Si ustedes le quieren preguntar lo sucedido, aquí está.
Este no es el lugar.
Okay.
This is not the place.
Gracias.
But thank you. Gracias.
I have my son with me in case you wanted to ask a question.
Okay, next comment, Jamie Munoz.
It's actually three of us.
What's the name of the other folks?
Bashirs and Castillon.
Okay, got it. So it's 3 minutes each. Or, I'm
Okay.
sorry, 5 minutes each.
And there's a separate one for me as well after, or another one that I submitted for a different thing.
So unless it's an agendized item, then you would get an additional 5 minutes. But if it's not an item that's agendized, you still get one comment for 5 minutes per person.
Okay, even if it's a separate topic?
Yes, it's public comment.
Okay. So, my name is William Bashirs. I'm from Salinas Elementary. This is Coach Munoz and Miss Castillon from the PE department and also representing San Diego State, I guess. And we have some good news to report from Salinas about a running program. So I'll hand it over to Coach.
Good evening, board members, cabinet, assistant superintendent, superintendent. Hello, my name is Jaime Munoz. I am the physical education teacher at Salinas Elementary. Basically, I have a running club that I do at Salinas Elementary where I allow all students to participate. It's an inclusive program that promotes a positive school culture. It creates a powerful bond among students participating within the school, and it links all of our SBC, USD running clubs together in our community. This program teaches students transferable life skills such as perseverance, commitment, goal setting, and strengthens healthy fitness habits that will last a lifetime. Participants work at their own pace, and everyone has the opportunity to succeed. This year, I set a goal to have my school run a total of 7,020 miles. We have already surpassed that goal thanks to the class of Mr. Bashirs and another class as well, Mr. Lights. Thanks to them alone, these total miles are the equivalent distance from LA to New York City and back. In the end, what we are trying to get is just hope that these kids can stay motivated to live healthy lifestyles one day at a time.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. My name is Viridiana Castillon and I'm actually a grad student from San Diego State University, and I actually grew up here in this district. So I'm actually getting my master's in public health, more specifically epidemiology, and I decided to work with Mr. Bashirs on the impact that this running program has on students' educational outcomes as well as physical and emotional well-being. So, how do I put this down? So the CDC actually recommends that students aged 6 through 17 get 60 minutes of moderate to rigorous activity a day. Now, this may happen. We have actually noticed an increase in sedentary lifestyle in students now in the classrooms. So during my research that I did, I found that students that actually participated in Mr. Bashirs' running program did have higher spring reading scores in comparison to the students who did not participate in the running program. So I found that to be extremely interesting. Mr. Bashirs also engages, has a lot of parent involvement, and students actually get to have their parents come and run marathons with them as well, which is actually very important to involve our community and see what their students are actually doing. And we actually saw that students who actually enjoyed running were actually, parents actually saw that they're noticing these health changes in their child. So not only did we see these students become much more healthy in their parents' eyes, they saw it for themselves, but they also were able to improve in their reading scores too. Now, these findings may suggest that physical activity programs in schools could be beneficial for students' academic successes. Overall academic performance was also positively impacted in this program. Another one is parent involvement, right? It plays a key role in student success and education. And I feel like one should consider different ways to engage parents to actively participate and see what they're doing. So I feel like if we were able to get that, it would be extremely beneficial, and I I was able to firsthand witness what this program has done, and I have seen a tremendous amount of positive attitudes and students actually being engaged. And not only that, but in the classroom, going back and forth, it provides them the opportunity to have that physical activity sense while also being able to learn and seeing their improvements in their scores. All right, thank you.
Do I have 5 seconds?
Yes, you have about 4 minutes left.
Okay. I'll speak really fast. We started this program last year, and like a lot of our programs, we try to create something that is near impossible and try to achieve past that. Some of the findings we found, running obviously improves health and cardiovascular fitness. 2 classes, it's not just me, it's myself, Mr. Light, Coach Munoz. The Marathon Kids running program has been very helpful in documenting the data. So we started last year, the kids could basically not run 1 lap. We worked all the way up to a 5K. We said, well, let's give the kids the challenge of doing a 5K on campus. Our kids have run about 7,000 miles so far. By the end of the year, it'll be about 5 or 6 marathons each kid has covered. As far as reading scores, you'll see the data there. The first bar graph or the first line graph shows that their run time on average went down 3 minutes. If you go to the back or you see their word count, it's probably the highest among most schools or maybe even in the state. The average, according to Accelerated Reader Renaissance program, most kids read 250, 300,000 words a year. I currently have 9 millionaires in my class. 1 just hit 2 million. Another one's about to hit 2 million. We'll probably get 2 more million. The class average word count is about 730,000 as of last Friday. I think one of the lessons, there's a couple of lessons. The first one, and one that was kind of shocking to me, is parent involvement. So the reason we actually did a 5K last year. We did a 4K this year. We're going to do another 5K, and you're all invited to participate. Out of all the runners that appeared that day, 1/3 of all the runners were adults and family. That's a pretty big ask for a 3-mile run, right? Parents were in pain, and it was good. Kids were in pain, and it was wonderful. They were able to achieve something past the pain. A lot of what our kids kind of miss, in my opinion, is a true, authentic rite of passage. This allows that to happen. Our relationship with pain is, in my opinion, one of the biggest predictors of success in life. And there's different types of pain. If you're a mother, you know the sacrifice, right? You know the worry of having a child. This is the type of pain that our kids have to endure and overcome, right? The Greeks had it right. Being able to challenge yourself physically connects academically. This year we're expecting, and the reason we're having another 4K is because the parents basically demanded it. They're like, we need more of this. So one of the big lessons is, can we connect? Can we have activities that really push families and kids together in a community environment to overcome something as a rite of passage? I have 2 minutes? Or 140, whatever.
You have about 45 seconds left.
You have about
Oh,
a minute
sorry.
and 40. Yeah, go ahead and take your time.
Okay. If I may talk about a second topic briefly. We have a conceptual art show as well. That'll be at the end of this month. The best way to explain it is to tell you about the art. One of my students' father died last year, and she decided to reinvent portraiture. And what she did is she made a sunflower. And a portraiture is generally a picture of your face, right? Like the Mona Lisa. On the flower, each petal was a chapter in his life. He came from Mexico here to become a mariachi singer. He met his mom. He used to sing his kids to sleep. And as part of the art show, this conceptual art piece, the audience would pull each petal off to learn the man. This is what kids can do with art. Conceptual art's a whole different thing. It's not about the aesthetics, it's about the thought and the emotion. So think about what this kid had to do. She had to go interview her family right after her father passed away. That's a large amount of bravery. She had to create an art piece that meant something. It's 2 pages into the book, 3 pages into the book. And during the art show, she recreated his death. Because as the audience plucks a petal off, the flower dies, just like he does, or did. That is conceptual art. That's the best way I can explain it, and you're more than welcome to come to our art show down the road at the Garcia Center on the 23rd. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your time. I have a question. I'm sorry. What time is it for that conceptual art? And then I don't know if you mentioned when the 5K event is happening.
I'm sorry. The 5K will be the last week of school where those minimum days. We have to work out the schedule with the front office because we do it during the morning. There's a flyer in there. It'll be from 5 to 7 at the Garcia Center, like literally, I think, a mile away from here. Yeah, there's a flyer. And then the book covers the first 3 years of the conceptual art show. And it's called My Sunflower Dad is the art piece that's in there. That's about that.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Up next, we have Mr. Ray Culberson.
Good afternoon, Board President, board members, cabinet members. Ray Culberson. Some of you guys probably don't know me. I'm not. But anyway, first of all, I want to talk about a couple of things, but I just want to also say that these students are like highly impressive. And so there's like, I don't care what happens, like my mood was not in the best kind of mood until I saw these students, because students always bring the life back into you no matter what. And I was telling them that they need to work on their confidence and never quit and do all that other stuff. These kids are so super, they don't need, they were like, this old man is talking a whole bunch of noise, I got this. So anyway, I want to talk to you a little bit because of the fact of this. As you know, we had an incident at Entrepreneur High School, and I wanted to just make sure it was clarified. You probably saw the video and with the officers and everything else. It wasn't a big melee. It was 2 students that got into an argument. One student was brought in the office. The other student was outside the campus and called their parent and their sisters to come. And so they would not leave, sending messages back and forth to the other student. So that's why school police was engaged in that particular event. We have things like this that happen all over in all campuses where parents come and they bring their kids and they're ready to fight. I think it's a moral outrage that we have to be aware of, because we can't move forward with school and education and all those kinds of things if we have that, because we want education to be available for all students. No matter what station they're at, whatever the problems are, we have to figure it out. But we can't have parents we have to find some way to engage those parents and deal with those parents who are bringing their kids there to fight. I almost want to call it Culberson's Law. You bring somebody to, you bring your kid to a fight, then you're guilty of a misdemeanor or something. Something has to happen. But I want to say this, is that there are a couple things. I started a lot of programs in this district, and I'm glad that the base was started, and now the fine-tuning is happening with kids. We started when there was no expulsion situations. We started attendance. We started restorative justice. We started like any other programs you can think of, and now they're enhanced with the student board members. But more importantly, we started building on strong relationships. And so part of that goal was to take school police and teach them PBIS and restorative justice and those kind of things. And we had all of those like situations happening with school police and the like. The reason why I say that is because a situation happened, school police came, all the intervening stuff was started just because someone wouldn't leave a campus. I grew up in San Bernardino, so I always stand firm for those people who stand firm for me. I look, if school police or any other police agency does something wrong, I say something. When they do something good, I say something. But they came to our aid to try to stop a situation in which a parent was concerned. And then the secondary issues happened. And I believe you got to stand up in some way to say, well, what happened was not right. And we have to find a way to bridge the gap with our kids in terms of, we know we got sometimes there's an issue with police, but you can't fight the police. Somebody's going to die. Somebody now, the next set of police officers are going to say, I'm not gonna allow a kid to pull my hair. I'll shoot them or I'll do something. And this is the outrage in the community. I'm more concerned because more people haven't spoken out about that portion. That portion is the key portion, because that's going to save lives. That's going to stop us from doing things that will become detrimental. We have to find a way to have a little bit of moral outrage about that particular point. Now, I'll fight anybody for your bad expulsions, your due process. I'll fight that. If it's, some kind of situation in which we know racism exists, but I don't let it bother me. I don't let it faze me. I just go through that particular process, and we go through that. But we have to teach kids and parents how to do it, because this tension is going to get worse, and it's going to get worse, and it's going to get worse. And my leadership has always been to start the next new thing. The next new thing that has to come out. This is, for me, the next new thing, and I take it passionately. But I also want to say, I still need school police to come to my school. I still need them. We have the MOU to do those kinds of things because we still need them. And so we have to stand and fix the problems that need to be fixed, and we have to find a way to do it. And I have confidence that this board will do it. And I'll say this, like in the early days, the way I started my work in the district was Danny Tillman had started a committee on suspensions before I got there. I just took the work and did it a little bit at a greater level. And so we always start with something. So let's start with something, and let's deal with this issue, because if we don't, the community is going to suffer. Thank you.
Thank you. Up next, we have Dominic Gutierrez.
Oh, yes, it is.
Good evening, Madam President Ceballos, Superintendent Ariano, and board members. Thank you for having us tonight. My name is Dominic Gutierrez. The kids know me as Coach Dom in the 61 golf program here in San Bernardino Unified School District. And we just wanted to come by today to, number one, thank you guys for your continued support with the golf program. We were told early on that getting kids in San Bernardino Unified City to golf is going to be like moving a mountain. And we're moving it. It's happening. Shout out to Tony earlier. He mentioned that this district has that youth program for the theater is like almost like it's renowned. No one else has that. We have something with the golf program here in San Bernardino that many other cities don't have at this level, but they get to receive the benefits of golf at a higher level. Golf is an aspirational sport, right? It kind of makes you feel like you want to put a polo on. It makes you feel like you want to be your best self, and you have to go through 4 hours of adversity to fight yourself in order to be better. Coming from this district, when I played golf in high school, it was you play high school golf, and that is your training in golf. You get thrown into the furnace right away through high school golf. We're kind of seeing a future right now and a possibility where not only can San Bernardino have a thriving golf program at every high school, a milestone we're about to achieve is we're going to have the first middle school golf league, and the kids are going to compete all this month, and they're going to have a tournament on the 31st. We went in the last 4 to 5 years from having kids who've never swung in a club to have the confidence to actually put their name out there and be represented at other schools as golfers. And they are scared. I see it every day at practice. They're so nervous. They're getting heckled by their friends, but they're showing the courage to do it. And it is, it's very rewarding to see, and it has a lot to do with you guys. It has a lot to do with the vision. I've been in San Bernardino my whole life. I love this city. I'm never going to leave probably. But to see the ideology that people have about San Bernardino and the things that we're doing right now with the youth in the city is very aspirational. It's very cool to see. So I just want to definitely thank you guys for all the help we've been doing here and the continued support. A milestone that I want to share really quick. We went from having only 2 high school golf teams, right? When I played at Purdue in 2009, the recession hit and all the teams got cut, right? It was a realistic thing to happen because coaches and teachers were begging kids to play golf, right? Because the students here just couldn't see that it was something they could do. They couldn't see that it was for them because of the color of their skin, because of the economic background, whatever it was, right? And now we're at the point where Cajon High School just got their first win in like 7 years. Not only that, let's do it, yeah. Not only that, but 2 of their students, a senior Caden is ranked #1 in CIF, and our own Andrew Soriano is ranked #4 in CIF, right? And there was a point, there was a threshold that came pretty soon where it was going to be a question whether or not golf would continue at that school and many other schools. And because of the support, there was a question of commitment from the parents and from the community if it was even plausible or realistic to keep pushing this goal, down the line. And we just wanted to come here today with some of the parents and some of the students. And this is a small portion of the, we have 50, 60 kids coming every Sunday to the golf course to play golf. And so there's a lot more, but we wanted to just come here and say thank you and show gratitude and show that there is a commitment here to build golf in the city. And it is money well spent. And I can very easily see in the future not only just to have the cities around us, they benefit from golf. Golf is an aspirational thing that when you're a mayor and you have a nice golf course, we basically own a golf course. San Bernardino has Shandon Hills, and it's a resource that hasn't really been connected to. But because we're doing it and because we're taking these steps to really put effort and faith into these children, not only are we going to have a golf program, but I can see a future where we have an elite golf program, where we have something where people come all over the state, all over the country to go to Cal State San Bernardino. It's a great college. And then they take their education and they move and they go to Rialto and they go to Redlands and they go to Highland and they go out of this place. Pretty soon, we see a program where people are going to be coming here to go to Shandon Hills to play golf, to be part of this golf program. And hopefully that's going to shed light back into the city and help, revenue and help all that great stuff too. So just thank you again for all your support. It's working. Golf is happening. It's not an easy task. It's not an easy game. But I forgot his name, but golf is painful, and it's also going to be one of those things that we're going to see growth from if we continue down this path. So thank you all, Chief Polino, Mr. Tillman. Thank you guys all so much for your support. Mr. Wyatt, we really appreciate you guys, and we hope we can continue to grow this thing. And I know some of the golfers and parents want to share their experience with you too. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So I do have people that submitted public comment. So I will call Gerard. Gerard, is that? Oh, Jared, sorry.
Good evening, board members. I'll keep this quick. My oldest son, Jude, who's behind me in the white hat, he started golf about a year ago, and before that, he had a lot of behavioral issues. He's on the spectrum, and this has really turned his life around. And I'd hate to see him going to Cajon next year and not have a golf team there. So if we can make that happen, I'd really appreciate it. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. And did your son want to say a few words? So I'll allow him to take your time.
Thank you for having me here. As my dad has said, I'm Jude Beaver. Before going to 61, I had very many behavior issues. I kept on fighting with my friends and doing a bunch of other dumb stuff as a regular middle schooler. But Coach Dominic has been able to help discipline me, and golf has been helping me in a lot of different ways. And I hope that next year when I go to Cajon, I will have that opportunity to show other schools how very well a person and just someone who messes up really bad in life could just turn around quickly and just be able to show that I'm able to, for the golf program, we could be able to better ourselves in a way with the players, and hopefully we're able to keep going and golf will stay here in our school district. And that's it.
Thank you. Renato Sanchez.
Good evening, board members, assistant superintendents, Superintendent Ariano. I'm not really good at this, so I'm here to support the great program that you have going on. I have two daughters who have benefited from this. We're a great part of the community, and we have to continue supporting the greatness of the outcome of, especially this program. Many kids don't have the financial means of going out there and getting it. They provide a great program. Thank you, Dom, Larry, Coach Larry, thank you. They teach the kids respect, self-confidence. I've seen it with my daughters. I've seen it with the kids. Myself, with the reunions that we have. Just want to say thank you for the great program that we have and the opportunities that we've been given. And let's continue doing a great job with it. And I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And then last but not least on this topic, I have Miss, it's either Shayana or Shalana? Shalana, I'm sorry, Morales.
Kind of short there. Good evening. I'm sorry, I get nervous when I speak. My daughter is a current 8th grader at Rodriguez Prep Academy. She has struggled a lot with emotional well-being as well as a sense of self, coming from a mixed family and a mixed home. And she struggled with anger issues as well as a young middle schooler. When she was in 6th grade, she met Coach Dom and Coach Damien, Coach Larry from Golf 61. And by 7th grade, we started seeing changes in her where she was coming out of her shell. She was more sure of herself, more confident. She is going into 9th grade this coming year, and she will be attending middle college. One of the things that I asked before signing up for middle college was, is Golf 61 there? We had the opportunity to move out of the school district, and we chose not to because we didn't want to take Golf 61 from our daughter. It has become an invaluable part of not only our daughter's life, but our family life. She attends the golf lessons 2 days a week, sometimes 3 at school. We get up every morning on Saturday to make sure that she takes the private lessons with Coach Derek. And then on Sundays, we're back at Shandon Hills again to make sure that she's there for group training and recap. It has not just become a thing to do. It actually, we give up different parts of our lives as parents and our only days off to ensure that our daughter is there because of the difference it has made in her life. And it was brought to our attention again about Cajon that they might lose their golf team. And even though our child will not be at Cajon, we beg you guys to intervene and not allow this to happen because, as Jude said, it teaches them discipline. As Dom said, it teaches them confidence. It teaches them sportsmanship, teamwork, togetherness. There's valuable aspects of being a part of a golf team that you take on not just into high school and college, but for the rest of your life. And for some of our kids, especially the girls' golf teams, this is their opportunity to get scholarships to go to college that they might not have. And those girls' golf scholarships are the #1 most unused sports scholarships everywhere in this country right now. So to allow Cajon to dismantle their girls' golf team, even their boys' golf team, takes away an opportunity for further education. And that's all.
Thank you so much. Mr. Tillman?
Thank you all for coming out. And young man, you did a great job in giving your speech. I was very moved by your speech. And everything that we do is to find ways to allow you to engage in your education and be as successful as possible. So you are definitely a success story. So thanks for coming out and giving us your story. I know I spoke with a gentleman about the concern about Cajon, and I did reach out to the superintendent, and then after that I talked to Mr. Imbriani, and he's given me the assurance, as long as there are enough golfers to create a team, he will do it. The concern was he didn't have the information in terms of the students, and I know that Mr. Shackelford and him had talked together. So the key is to of course you can't have a team if you don't have players, right? So I think we're on the right track. I know the superintendent have more information, but I feel confident as long as we have the students that you'll be able to have a golf team at Cajon.
Yeah, we actually got, for those who didn't know, we actually got the word from Mr. John Bryant that there will be a team next year, and it is happening, and it is due to the parents showing up and showing their willingness to be there for the students. So we actually are going to have a golf team. More importantly, it will probably be, they might even get 7th period golf, might even be more than it's ever been at the school. So it is working, and thank you guys for your support in that matter, and continue support through all of this. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I would assume that the same opportunity is afforded to Middle College as well. So if we can get parents, enough students to, I'm sure there wouldn't be a problem with establishing a team. Oh, they don't have, but they can attend a different high school?
I can answer that. Students who attend Middle College have the option of playing athletics, CIF-sanctioned athletics at their home school. And so we have many Middle College students participating in athletics all over the district.
We actually have many Middle College kids in the program here as well, and there are kids from all the different high schools. So if we continue down the route we're going, we will see high school programs at all the high schools very shortly. I just want to, the 31st, we're going to be at Shandon Hills. I know we have some golfers here. I know we have supporters. If any of you guys want to come out and see the kids play for their first ever tournament, it will mean so much to us having you guys there. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, and thank you for coming out. All right. Up next, excuse me, I have Adib Dawabi. Did I say that correctly?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
How's everybody doing today?
Good. Thank you.
Good evening, board members. My name is Adib Dawabi, as she mentioned, and I'm here today representing over 200 students, parents, and educators who have signed my petition promoting ethical AI use in San Bernardino City Unified School District. Now, I'm here because I believe it's time for SBCUSD to take action in an issue that has been affecting classrooms across the district, which is artificial intelligence. Now, AI tools like ChatGPT, image generators, writing assistants are already being used by students and teachers every day. But most of us are using them without any clear guidance and understanding on how to use them ethically or responsibly. That's why I created a petition, calling on this district to change how AI is used in our schools. Now, in this short time, I've received over 200 signatures from parents, students, and educators across the San Bernardino County who agree with this message. Now, my petition asks for two things: that the SBCUSD, creates and enforces clear ethical guidelines on the use of AI in education. And the second is that the district starts teaching both students and staff how to use AI responsibly and productively. Now, this isn't about banning AI or being afraid of it. It's about using it the right way. Now, students might be using it to do assignments for them without understanding the content. Teachers might be unsure how to respond to that or how to use AI to support their own learning. And without the district leadership, every school is left to figure it out on their own. My ultimate goal is simple. I want to see a change in how AI is used in this district. I want to move from confusion to clarity, from misuse to meaningful use. Let's create a culture where AI supports critical thinking, creativity, and academic honesty, not shortcuts and misinformation. Other districts are already beginning this work. SBCUSD has a chance to be a leader, not just adopting new technology, but in shaping how it's used with purpose, ethics, and responsibility. Now, it's short and sweet, but I want to thank everybody for your time, and I hope you consider starting this important conversation.
Thank you so much. Mr. Tillman?
A student?
Yeah. Well, not in this, but I attended Pacuma in middle school.
Where are you at now?
I go to school in Pomona now. But I live in Rancho. My mom teaches in.
I'm just trying to figure out. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Did you
I'm
put
just a little
student on the
nervous.
page?
Yeah, I know.
Then-
It's my first time. I didn't know what to put.
That's
Yeah.
fine. Thank you very much.
Of course. Thank you.
Thank you. And I do want to allow Ms. Applegate to kind of share a little bit about, because this is an area that she has been actively exploring. So please share with us.
So much for coming up and talking about this very important topic.
Of course.
So as a large school district, we have to be very careful about security.
Right,
So one
right.
of the first, as you know, you mentioned, so one of the first things that we had to do is contract our lawyers, and we're contracted also with ChatGPT themselves to really look at board policy and ARs around making sure that we are being safe with the way students are using AI. But we also have an entire department, our STEAM department and our educational technology department, both have now purchased a suite of AI tools, but we're also very careful because we want to make sure that we integrate AI in a meaningful way, as you perfectly
Of course.
stated, to make our curriculum more rigorous, more engaging.
Yeah.
And so we're starting out looking at writing tools so the kids can, do their essays, teachers can grade them ethically. So it is a complicated subject, but we are already piloting several programs, and we're making sure that we have the security needed in place as well as we go out. Because as you know, everything goes up into the cloud, and
course.
so we have to be careful about those kinds of things. But absolutely, there will be a rollout this coming fall.
Awesome.
We've already piloted in several schools, and we're actually going to meet with the board subcommittee to make sure that the policy is exactly what it needs to be as we move forward. But
Perfect.
you'll see it's coming fast. I know everybody is using it out there, but
Yeah.
we're trying to get a good hold of it to make sure that we use it in a meaningful way.
Of course.
So, but thank you so much. I'm
No,
glad
thank
you're
you
on
guys
top
for
of
your
it.
time. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I have I don't know if you have a question for him, but Ms. Preciado?
I was just going to piggyback on Ms. Applegate. So there's actually a district tech committee that I'm also part in. And this is teachers, parents, and I am one of the students in that committee. And where we're actually creating guidelines and ethical guidelines, because ultimately AI is inevitable, right? As time is progressing, there is AI. Me personally, I am against it just because it does undermine our intelligence, right? But at the same time, you can use it, but also use your critical thinking skills. So I know where you're getting at, but we do have our district tech committee and also other programs that are already piloting these ethical guidelines. So thank you for
Okay.
being here.
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And one more comment, Ms. Teresa Huntz.
So good evening, board, honorable board and staff and superintendent. I'm Teresa Hunter. I'm sorry about the poor handwriting. I was sorry about that.
Sorry about that.
I'm just here because at the previous board meeting, we were not able to be here. We had conflicting meetings, crossing the freeways and doing all these things. So I'm just here this evening really quick just to acknowledge and thank the board for approving our item number 4 of the last meeting's public hearing, which was the adoption of our tentative agreement between San Bernardino City Unified and Communications Workers of America, Local 9588. I'm just here to say thank you to that. I wasn't able to make it last time, so thank you. Have a great evening, everyone. Thanks.
Thank you. Well, we're so glad you made it today. Good to see you. All right. Moving on to 4.0 public hearing, 4.1 public hearing and acceptance of the 2025-2026 classified work calendars between San Bernardino City Unified School District and California School Employee Associations Chapter 183. So I will no public comments?
There are no public comments.
Okay, now I go ahead and open the public hearing. Any discussion? Okay, closing public hearing. And can I go ahead and get a motion? So moved.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Medina, second by Dr. Wyatt. Vote, please. Ms. Alexander?
Aye.
Motion passed. 5.0 closed session, 5.1 closed session public comments. Do we have any?
We do not.
All right, 5.2 closed session agenda. We will adjourn now. All right, we are coming back from closed session. 6.0 action reported from closed session. 6.1 be it resolved, the Board of Education approves settlement agreement LF-24/25-02 in the amount of $49,500.
Move.
Second. Moved by Mr. Tillman, second by Ms. Medina. Vote, please. Motion passed. 6.2 approval of revised job description benefits manager. The benefits manager, under the supervision of the risk management employee benefits director, coordinates the implementation of the district's employee benefits program, included but not limited to open enrollment, new employee benefits orientation, reconciliation of bills and statements, maintenance of master enrollment records, assistance to employees with claim problems, and selecting and negotiating benefit plans.
Yep.
Moved by Mr. Tillman, second by Mr. Santos. Vote, please. Motion passed. 6.3 peer assistance and review report of participation human resources. The memorandum of understanding between the San Bernardino City Unified School District and the San Bernardino Teachers Association requires that PAR joint panel review all PAR service information by May 15th and report to the superintendent the names of participants who, after assistance, are unable to demonstrate satisfactory improvement. The report is attached.
Move.
Moved by Mr. Tillman, second by Mr. Santos. Motion passed. 6.4 expulsion of students. Be it resolved, the Board of Education accepts and adopts the recommendation and findings of the hearing panel. Based on the review of the panel's findings of facts and recommendations, and orders the expulsion of the following students with the identification numbers as listed below, in accordance with the board rules and regulations and in compliance with Education Code Section 48900.
Move.
Second. Moved by Mr. Tillman, second by Ms. Medina. Motion carries. 6.5, students recommended for expulsion excluding mandatory offenses but remanded to youth court for other means of correction. Be it resolved, the Board of Education accepts and adopts the recommendation and findings of facts of positive youth development and orders the suspension or expulsion of the following students with the identification numbers as listed below, in accordance with board rules and regulations and in compliance of with Education Code Section 48900.
Moved.
Second. Moved by Mr. Tillman, second by Ms. Medina. Motion carries. 6.6, petition to expunge, rescind sealing of record or modify youth court or expulsion. Be it resolved, the Board of Education authorizes expulsion and or youth court modifications, expungement, or rescinding of the following students with the identification numbers as indicated below to the schools of the San Bernardino City Unified School District in accordance with the board rules and regulations and in compliance with Education Code Section 48900.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Tillman, second by Mr. Santos. Vote, please. Motion carries. 7.0, student board members' comments and reports. I believe they are gone now. We do apologize. 8.0, administrative reports and presentations. I just want to take a moment to just say, thank you to both Child Development Program presentation, the Inland Career Education Center presentation, the staff for being here and waiting for us. We do apologize, but we will be bringing them back. So we will move on to 9.0, action items. 9.1, personnel report, number 18. Dated May 6, 2025, which contains actions such as hiring, retirements, resignations, promotions, and terminations.
As presented.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Tillman, second by Mr. Santos. Motion passed. 9.2, resolution to approve revised procedures and criteria for evaluating qualifications and proposals for pre-construction and lease back construction services.
Moved.
Second. Moved by Mr. Tillman, second by Ms. Medina. Vote, please. Motion passed. 10.0, consent items. 10.1, approval of consent items. Second. Moved by Ms. Medina, second by moved by Mr. Tillman, second by Ms. Medina. Are we pulling any items? Seeing none, vote please. Motion carries. 11.0, reports, comments by union organizations. 11.1, San Bernardino Teachers Association.
No report.
11.2, California School Employees Association.
No report.
11.3, Communication Workers of America.
No report.
11.4, San Bernardino School Police Officers Association.
No report.
12.0, reports and comments. 12.1, board members, and I'll go ahead and start to my right. Ms. Medina? Comment. Mr. Tillman? Mr. Santos? Myself, I have no report. 12.2, superintendent and staff. Mr. Arellano?
No report. Thank you.
Awesome. Moving on to 13.0, summary of board members' requests. 13.1, review of requests.
There were none.
Awesome. Loving it. All right. 14.0, meeting adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Second. Moved by Mr. Tillman, second by Ms. Medina.